Hello and welcome to Project 2 for the Glowforge. In this project, we're going to use the image trace function to take a drawing and cut it and engrave it out of a piece of material. In this case, in my Glowforge dashboard, I'm going to pick the trace function. I've already put my drawing inside the Glowforge bed. And it takes a moment for the Glowforge to load, but the first thing you need to do is drag a square around the artwork. So here's my little drawing of a flower. I'm going to click and drag so those dotted lines go around my entire image and then let go. The Glowforge will do its best to read the lines. When you're making your drawing to put in the Glowforge, you want to use a dark colored marker or pen. You need to make it as clean as possible. You don't really want to have the paper be crumpled or bent or have a lot of eraser marks on it because the Glowforge will have a hard time making a clean image otherwise. I'm going to zoom in to see better, and if you need to move around your screen, you grab the hand icon here. It's called the pan tool. I'm going to move it in the center. If you need to make the image is like a little fuzzy or hard to see or not quite as dark as you want or too dark, you can hold Control on your keyboard and use the arrow keys up and down to change it. So I'm going to do Control up to make it a little bit lighter, and I'm going to do Control down twice to make it darker. In this case, I think the first time it scanned it was fine, so I went back up one more time to be kind of what the Glowforge first did, which is how this flower looks now. If you make a mistake at any point, you can use Control-Z to undo what you did. And I need to tell the Glowforge what I'm doing with this image. Maybe you are scanning an image because you want to engrave a drawing onto something else. In that case, you don't have to do anything except click enter. But in my case, I want to actually cut out the flower shape and engrave the inside. So I'm going to go back to my select tool. I'm going to click anywhere outside of my shape, and this pink line identifies that it's cutting around here. If I wanted it to maybe also cut a piece inside, I would click that part as well. I don't actually want to do that, so I'm going to hit Control-Z to undo and just tell it to cut around the outside. I want it to cut around the outside. It's going to engrave this detail. Click Place Artwork, and it will put it in the design space. So here is my flower. You can see the outside is being cut and the center is engraved. I can use the Select tool to put it somewhere in the Glowforge bed, but before I can start or really work on anything else, I should go remove my drawing from the bed itself. So I took out my paper. I don't want my paper in there while it's cutting the acrylic. Right now, the Glowforge did not scan the QR code correctly, so it says unknown material, but I know it is clear acrylic, and I know it is medium clear acrylic. So I'm going to select that, and it now knows the proper settings to engrave and cut. If I was not using Glowforge proof grade material, I would have to enter in the thickness of my material here, and then I would also have to pick my own manual settings for speed and power for both layers of my art. I like to move my pieces close. I don't want to be super close like this. Even though it looks like there's space, it could still maybe be too close for comfort and might cut this part off incorrectly. But I want it to be close enough so that I'm saving material and not leaving big gaps between, so I can get the most out of my whole sheet of acrylic here. When I'm ready to print, I click this print icon in the right corner. Glowforge takes a moment to focus on the material inside the machine, and then it will give you an estimated time for how long this project will take. So it's going to take roughly 4 minutes and 16 seconds. The machine is ready. I can go hit the button on the Glowforge that is glowing, and it will start cutting out this project. After the Glowforge finished cutting out my drawing, I let it sit for a little bit, let the material cool, and removed it from the machine. So then here is my completed piece out of clear acrylic. When you take it out, it's going to have this protective sheet on it, so you just have to peel that away to reveal your final piece. There is my acrylic right next to my drawing. Now you know how to turn turn a picture and using any material, turn it into a replica for you. That's how you use image trace with the Glowforge.